Today, we're diving into one of the most dramatic shifts in Canadian real estate history. In just a few years, we've gone from a frenzied market where presale condos sold out in minutes to a landscape of cancelled projects, developers facing bankruptcy, and thousands of completed units sitting empty. This isn't a slight correction, it's a full-blown crisis, a complete unraveling of a once booming sector. We're talking about luxury mansions in foreclosure and a systemic risk that nobody in power wants to openly acknowledge. How did we get here? How did the seemingly unstoppable presale industry end up on life support? The answers reveal a complex interplay of speculation, policy, and a harsh dose of reality that impacts every single person in real estate. To understand this collapse, let's rewind to around 2013. Back then, developers had to work hard to attract buyers. They offered significant discounts, generous decorative allowances, and even extra parking spaces. Crucially, the price per second square foot for pre-sales was often below the price of existing homes. The logic for buyers was simple. Why commit to a building years from completion when you could buy something ready to move into? But then, a monumental shift began, ignited by a massive influx of international buyers. Canada's stable economy and low dollar made our real estate incredibly attractive. Cities like Vancouver were seen as remarkably cheap on the global stage, and developers even set up overseas offices to sell directly to foreign investors. So, where was the government? In hindsight, it seems they became addicted to the boom. The real estate industry was generating immense tax revenues. By 2025, some estimates suggest 20 to 25% of construction costs for a new building are direct taxes and contributions. This, along with property transfer taxes and GST, created a powerful incentive for governments to let the boom continue. The sector was also a colossal employer, a golden goose that no one wanted to disturb. In 2016, a pivotal event happened, the shadow flipping ban in the resale market. This practice, where speculators would flip a contract for a profit before a sale was completed, was outlawed for houses. This had an unforeseen consequence. It pushed those speculators directly into the pre-sale industry, where assignments were still allowed. The long timelines of pre-sales, 3 to 5 years, were perfect. Speculators could put down a deposit, watch the market climb, and then assign their contract for a substantial profit without ever needing a mortgage. All they risked was their initial deposit. This scheme exploded. Soon, even everyday mom and pop investors were pulling equity from their homes to gamble on flipping a pre-sale condo. Greed set in. People started buying multiple units, not to live in, but simply to tie down deposits, confident the market would only go up. Developers needing to sell 70% of a building to break ground often didn't scrutinize buyers' finances. As long as the deposit was there, the unit was sold. We saw insane frenzies, with projects selling out in minutes to buyers who just wanted to secure any unit they could get. This led developers to cater to investors. The most popular units became the smallest and cheapest one-bedroom and studio apartments. Condos began to shrink, and things like parking and storage became expensive add-ons. This intense speculation caused pre-sale prices to wildly outpace the resale market. By 2025, pre-sales commanded a staggering 41% premium over comparable resale units. They became too small and too expensive for the average buyer. The real game changer was the rapid, aggressive climb in interest rates. The sudden hike caused local investors to vanish overnight. The chain of assignments which had fueled the market broke. Initial purchasers were left stuck with contracts they couldn't sell. Compounding this caps on international students, and slowing immigration impacted the rental market, a key driver for investor demand. End users, meanwhile, are gravitating towards the resale market, which offers cheaper, larger, and often better quality units. This has led to the current situation: thousands of completed, unsold units and widespread project cancellations. Right now, there are an estimated 2,500 to 3,500 completed condos sitting empty across Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. This is the worst oversupply the region has seen in 25 years. What's insidious is that this is shadow inventory. It doesn't appear on official real estate stats because developers hold these units back privately, unwilling to list them and devalue their projects. This crisis is concentrated in former hotspots like Burquitlam, Brentwood, and especially Surrey Central, which has hundreds of tiny investor-grade condos sitting unsold. Developers who were pre-selling at $1,200 per second square foot are now struggling to get $850. The math simply doesn't work. The reaction from developers has been stark. Many are canceling projects, a trend not seen since the early 2000s. Where possible, they are pivoting stalled projects into rental units. For completed, unsold inventory, desperation is setting in. We're seeing unprecedented incentives, free parking, rate buy-downs, and cashback. A flash sale in Surrey offering 25% off cleared out every unit in 48 hours, proving that buyers exist, but they are incredibly price-sensitive. Beneath this, a larger problem is brewing: systemic risk. Developers are laying off staff, and this ripple effect will spread to plumbers, electricians, and suppliers of concrete, steel, and lumber. It will be a massive hit to the labor market, rattling the entire economy. If developers stop building, construction employment falls, city tax revenue falls, and public projects get delayed. It's a brutal feedback loop. We are now in a standoff. Developers refuse to drop prices further because they risk breaching loan covenants and wiping out years of work. Buyers refuse to pay 2021 prices when resale offers better value. The stories of individual developers highlight the turmoil. We've seen a renowned developer's $14.5 million mansion go into foreclosure. When a developer's personal assets are seized, it's a signal that things are critically wrong. Major luxury projects are also failing. The AIA project in Vancouver was cancelled. The 60-story curved tower is facing receivership over a $91 million loan, and other projects like Nexus are also under receivership. These stories tell us three things. Over-leveraging is real. Models built on cheap money and endless investor demand have broken. Luxury and investor-driven units are the most vulnerable. They are the first to be cancelled or foreclosed upon. Demand is shifting. Smart developers are now focusing on more mainstream homes instead of high-end speculative units, recognizing the potential for a severe future housing shortage. The City of Vancouver has launched a relief program for developers. The goal is to encourage those with stalled projects to build primarily by converting them into rentals. The program includes a temporary 20% cut on development cost charges and relaxes requirements for affordable housing units, making rental projects more financially feasible. The city is also allowing more design flexibility, such as including windowless bedrooms to help developers create more compact, affordable designs. The irony is that this push for rentals is happening as the rental market itself is weakening. BC vacancy rates are the highest in 30 years, and rents are falling. This stands in contrast to Ontario, where new legislation has been enacted to be more pro-landlord, to incentivize rental development. BC's government is only now realizing that the weakness in its development pipeline will have severe consequences for future affordability. The Greater Vancouver real estate market is undergoing a painful but necessary reset. For smart, patient buyers, it's also a time of emerging opportunity. Here is what this means for you. For buyers, you now hold unprecedented leverage. Focus your search on completed inventory where the real discounts are. Negotiate aggressively on everything from price to upgrades. And remember, resale condos often offer better value and more livable layouts. For sellers, be realistic with your expectations. Buyers are choosier now. Highlight practical aspects like livability, low maintenance, and overall value for money, not just luxury features. For investors, extreme caution is warranted. Project cancellations are a real risk. Work only with reputable developers and understand their contingency plans. The next 12 to 24 months will set the tone for the coming decade. We can expect fewer pre-sale launches, more purpose-built rentals, and a wave of consolidation among developers. We are shifting into a multi-year correction for investor-grade condos, while larger, livable resale condos will likely hold their value much better. This is a defining moment that will reshape the condo landscape for years to come. If you're looking to navigate these complex waters, whether selling or finding an opportune deal, don't hesitate. Call or text me for a confidential consultation. My contact information is below or scan QR on the screen. Thanks for watching.